Welcome! Get ready to enjoy 101 random facts that will make you instantly smarter. Let's go! Number 1. The skin on your hands and face has a slightly lower pH than the rest of your body, making it more acidic. This mild acidity forms part of the skin's natural barrier, known as the acid mantle, which helps protect against harmful bacteria, pollutants, and other environmental stressors. This subtle difference plays a vital role in immune defense and skin health. Number 2. In 2013, a single thief pulled off one of the most significant jewelry heists in history by stealing a suitcase containing 72 priceless pieces. The theft occurred in a poorly secured room just before a private exhibition, and the stolen jewelry was valued at $136 million. The owner was a billionaire collector, preparing to showcase his exclusive collection to select guests. Number 3. Jason Brown, formerly an NFL center with the St. Louis Rams, left professional football to become a farmer in North Carolina. Motivated by a desire to serve others, he founded First Fruits Farm. Since then, he and his family have donated over 1 million pounds of produce to food banks, helping to combat food insecurity in their local communities and beyond. Number 4. Due to concerns over mad cow disease, bovine spongiform encephalopathy, people who lived in the United Kingdom between 1980 and 1996 were barred from donating blood in the U.S. This restriction lasted for decades and was finally lifted in May 2022, after scientific assessments concluded that the risk of disease transmission through blood donation had become negligible and manageable. Number 5. English phonology includes between 14 and 21 distinct vowel sounds, depending on the dialect spoken. In contrast, many other languages like Spanish or Hindi typically have only 5 to 6 vowel sounds. This wide range in English often confuses non-native speakers, especially when learning pronunciation, as many vowel sounds are subtle and do not exist in their native languages. Number 6. An off-duty nurse saved a young boy's life by performing CPR after he suffered cardiac arrest from a baseball bat striking his chest during a Little League game. In a remarkable twist of fate, 7 years later, that same boy saved the nurse's life by performing the Heimlich maneuver when she began choking in a restaurant, completing a full-circle act of heroism. Number 7. Thurl Ravenscroft, a legendary voice actor, is best known for bringing life to Tony the Tiger, the mascot for Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. However, he also lent his deep, resonant voice to the classic holiday song You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, from the 1966 adaptation of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, cementing his place in pop culture history. Number 8. While helium balloons are typically associated with parties and celebrations, many are not filled with pure helium. Instead, they often contain balloon gas, a blend of helium recycled from medical and scientific applications mixed with air. This approach conserves helium, a limited and valuable resource, while still allowing balloons to float, although not as effectively as those filled with 100% helium. Number 9. The satirical film Life of Brian by Monty Python was banned in a town in Wales for being considered blasphemous. The ban lasted 30 years until the actress who played Brian's girlfriend, Sue Jones-Davies, was elected mayor. One of her first acts in office was to lift the ban and organize a public screening of the film that had once been forbidden. Number 10. The idea that medieval castles featured clockwise spiral staircases to disadvantage right-handed attackers is largely a modern myth. Historical studies show that around 30% of surviving castles actually had counterclockwise stairs. The earliest known mention of the clockwise defensive theory came from a 1903 book, which offered no direct historical sources, suggesting the idea may have been romanticized after the fact. Number 11. Leonardo da Vinci, the renowned Renaissance artist and polymath, was a committed vegetarian and early advocate for animal rights. He expressed empathy for animals in his journals, often purchasing caged birds just to release them. His writings also condemn animal cruelty, suggesting he believed in the moral and ethical treatment of non-human life centuries before modern animal welfare movements emerged. Number 12. The Stockholm subway system in Sweden is widely celebrated as the world's longest art exhibition. Spanning more than 110 kilometers, over 90 of its stations feature artwork such as sculptures, mosaics, and murals. More than 150 artists have contributed to transforming this public transit network into a vast, immersive gallery, that showcases Sweden's cultural and artistic diversity underground. Number 13. The Spanish were the first Europeans to reach the Florida Keys and discovered a Native American burial site on one of the southernmost islands. They named it Cayo Hueso, which translates to Bone Island, due to the skeletal remains found there. Over time, the name was anglicized into Key West, becoming one of Florida's most iconic tourist destinations. Number 14. Florida officially became a territory of the United States in 1821 when Spain relinquished control through the Adams-Onis Treaty. This agreement transferred Florida's governance in exchange for the U.S., assuming $5 million in claims by American citizens against Spain. The acquisition marked a key moment in U.S. expansion and helped solidify American control over the southeastern region. Number 15. The Veltins Arena, also known as the Kakar Arena, located in Gelsenkirchen, Germany, has a seating capacity of over 30,000. Interestingly, it resides in a town with a population of only 3,600. The disproportionate size of the stadium is due to its use for major sports events, including Bundesliga football matches and concerts, drawing visitors from surrounding cities and regions. Number 16. Accounts of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, date back to ancient Rome. In 218 BCE, during the Punic Wars, Roman historian Livy described phantom ships appearing in the sky. Later, in 76 BCE, Pliny the Elder wrote about a glowing spark that fell from the sky, expanded, then disappeared. These early records suggest that aerial phenomena have long fascinated humanity. Number 17. The Pink Panthers are a loosely organized international network of jewel thieves responsible for over 350 heists, totaling more than $500 million. Known for their precision and daring escapes, many members have broken out of high-security prisons. Their nickname was inspired by the famed film series, and law enforcement agencies across the globe have struggled to dismantle their operations. Number 18. River Deep, Mountain High, a 1966 song produced by Phil Spector and performed by Ike and Tina Turner, was one of the most expensive singles of its time. Costing $22,000 to record, an astronomical sum back then, it involved 21 session musicians. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys reportedly watched the recording in awe, captivated by Spector's wall of sound technique. Number 19. In 1971, the Apollo 15 astronauts left a small aluminum sculpture on the moon known as the Fallen Astronaut. Alongside it was a plaque listing the names of 14 astronauts and cosmonauts who had died in space-related missions. This quiet tribute remains the only human-made lunar memorial dedicated to those who lost their lives in service of space exploration. Number 20. Freedom House Ambulance Service, established in Pittsburgh in the 1960s, was the first U.S. emergency medical service to train paramedics. Its staff was predominantly Black, and the program set national standards for pre-hospital care. Before Freedom House, many ambulance services lacked medical training. Their pioneering work laid the foundation for modern EMS systems and significantly improved emergency response outcomes. Number 21. George Stathakis attempted to conquer Niagara Falls in 1930 by going over in a barrel, accompanied by his pet turtle. While he survived the initial fall, tragedy struck when his barrel became wedged behind the waterfall. After being trapped for 8 hours with limited oxygen, he suffocated. Remarkably, his turtle survived the ordeal, becoming a symbol of the strange incident. Number 22. Alberta King, mother of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., was tragically murdered in 1974 while playing the organ during a Sunday service at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. The church, where both her husband and son had preached, became the scene of another senseless act of violence. Her death occurred 6 years after her son's assassination and deeply impacted the King family. Number 23. The original version of the classic tale, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, didn't feature a young girl at all. Instead, an old woman visits the home of 3 male bears of differing sizes. This early version, penned in the 19th century, evolved over time into the more familiar story involving a mischievous girl named Goldilocks and a family of bears. Number 24. Portable power generators, commonly used during outages or outdoor activities, are among the most hazardous household items due to the potential for carbon monoxide poisoning. When operated in enclosed spaces or too close to homes, they can emit deadly levels of this colorless, odorless gas. Numerous fatalities have occurred from improper use, prompting warnings and stricter safety guidelines from health agencies. Number 25. The aurora borealis, also known as the northern lights, isn't just a visual phenomenon. In very quiet environments, people have reported hearing faint sounds like whistling, crackling, or hissing accompanying the lights. Scientists believe these sounds originate from electrical discharges caused by geomagnetic activity, though the exact source remains under investigation. This rare phenomenon adds a surreal quality to an already stunning spectacle. Number 26. Before modern safety regulations, a grim rule of thumb in construction held that one worker would die for every $1 million spent on a project. This informal standard reflected the dangerous conditions laborers faced. Over time, advancements in safety measures, engineering practices, and labor rights drastically reduced workplace fatalities, making large-scale projects significantly safer today than in previous centuries. Number 27. The Wisconsin River, which now flows southward into the Mississippi River, once had a very different path. Geological evidence suggests it originally drained into the Great Lakes Basin. Over thousands of years, glacial activity during the last ice age reshaped the region's topography, redirecting the river's course and altering the hydrology of much of the Midwestern United States. Number 28. Novo Nordisk, the Danish pharmaceutical company behind widely used diabetes and weight loss medications like Ozempic and Wegovy, has grown so significantly in market value that it now surpasses Denmark's entire gross domestic product. This astonishing growth reflects a global demand for its treatments and highlights how pharmaceutical innovation can have profound economic implications, even outpacing the economies of entire nations. Number 29. When a crow dies, other crows often gather around the body in what appears to be a ritual. Scientists believe these gatherings serve as investigations. Crows observe and learn about potential threats or causes of death. This behavior demonstrates their advanced cognitive abilities and social intelligence, as they use the experience to avoid danger and communicate information among their group. Number 30. Mariah Carey's holiday hit, All I Want for Christmas Is You, features no live instrumental backing. All the music was either synthesized or digitally programmed by co-writer and producer Walter Afanasieff. Originally recorded with a live band, Afanasieff was dissatisfied with the sound and recreated the entire track using keyboards and drum machines, giving the song its enduring, nostalgic charm. Number 31. The origins of chemotherapy date back to World War I, when scientists observed that mustard gas exposure reduced white blood cell counts. This toxic substance was later repurposed for medical use, leading to the development of the first chemotherapy drug, mustine. It marked the beginning of cancer pharmacology, transforming a wartime chemical weapon into a treatment for rapidly dividing cancer cells. Number 32. In the 17th century, Puritans banned Christmas celebrations in both England and colonial America, viewing the holiday as a Catholic-inspired, frivolous event. In England, the ban lasted from 1647 to 1660, while in Boston, it persisted from 1659 to 1681. Celebrating Christmas was punishable by law, and it remained socially unpopular in New England until the mid-1800s. Number 33. Before Pope Clement VIII gave coffee his blessing in the early 1600s, many Europeans believed it was a satanic beverage due to its stimulating properties and association with Islamic culture. Critics called it the bitter invention of Satan. After tasting it himself, the Pope declared it delicious and approved its use, helping to integrate coffee into European society and culture. Number 34. The song Jane Says by Jane's Addiction was inspired by a real woman named Jane, who struggled with drug addiction and dreamed of moving to Spain. Contrary to rumors, she was not involved in sex work. Eventually, she did move to Spain, overcame her addiction, and found stability. Her story became a symbol of resilience and personal transformation for fans. Number 35. In 2015, astronomers discovered a supernova that outshone any previously recorded stellar explosion. Officially named ASASSN-15LH, It was measured to be 570 billion times brighter than the Sun and 20 times brighter than the entire Milky Way galaxy. Scientists believe it was a superluminous supernova, possibly created by the collapse of a massive, rapidly spinning star into a magnetar. Number 36. Newborns are unable to detect the taste of salt until they are around 3 to 4 months old. Before this stage, their taste receptors are still developing. Once they acquire the ability, studies show infants tend to prefer slightly salty solutions over plain water. This early preference may have biological roots in maintaining electrolyte balance during early growth and development. Number 37. Melpomene and Thalia, figures from ancient Greek mythology, are the muses of tragedy and comedy, respectively. Their faces are commonly represented as the iconic theatrical masks, one frowning and one smiling, used to symbolize drama as an art form. These muses were believed to inspire playwrights and performers, and their imagery remains a universal emblem of theater and storytelling. Number 38. A study at the University of Cambridge demonstrated that sheep possess facial recognition abilities. Researchers trained sheep to identify human faces from photographs by rewarding them with treats. The sheep reliably recognized celebrities like Emma Watson, but their accuracy declined when images were tilted. This research highlights the surprising cognitive capacity of sheep and their ability to process complex visual information. Number 39. In 18th century Naples, spaghetti was a popular street food eaten directly with the hands. Visitors from abroad were fascinated by locals' ability to consume the long noodles without forks, which were not yet commonly used. This practice became a spectacle for tourists, who sometimes organized their trips around witnessing the uniquely Neapolitan style of eating pasta without utensils. Number 40. Ghislain Raza, known as the Star Wars Kid, became an early viral video subject in the 2000s after classmates leaked footage of him mimicking lightsaber moves. The intense bullying that followed led his school to suggest he not return, and he was tutored at home. Despite this, Raza overcame the ridicule, earned a law degree, and is now pursuing a PhD. Number 41. Michael Lomonaco, the head chef at Windows on the World, the restaurant atop the North Tower of the World Trade Center, survived the 9/11 attacks due to an unexpected delay. On the morning of September 11, 2001, he stopped at the concourse level to have his glasses repaired. That brief detour prevented him from being in the restaurant when the plane struck. Number 42. Eugene Bullard was the first African-American combat pilot, serving in the French Air Service during World War I. After facing racial discrimination in the U.S., he moved to France, where he also became a jazz musician and club owner. During World War II, he worked as a spy for the French resistance, using his nightclub to gather intelligence on Nazis. Number 43. Henry Ford was sued for libel by a Jewish agricultural cooperative after publishing anti-Semitic content in his newspaper, the Dearborn Independent. The articles falsely alleged that Jewish farmers were conspiring to control American agriculture. Facing public backlash and legal consequences, Ford retracted the claims, issued an apology, and shut down the paper in 1927. The episode tarnished his legacy. Number 44. In response to a severe public debt crisis in 1340, the Republic of Florence appointed an executive council composed of ordinary citizens, including tradesmen like a butcher, a dyer, and a used cloth merchant. These non-elite leaders enacted bold fiscal reforms, including restructuring and refinancing the public debt. Their successful efforts stabilized Florence's economy and preserved the city's political independence. Number 45. Johnny Cash's famous song Folsom Prison Blues was heavily inspired by Crescent City Blues, a song written by Gordon Jenkins. Though Jenkins was unaware of Cash's version at first, he eventually filed a copyright lawsuit. The case was settled out of court, and Jenkins received $75,000. The incident highlights how musical inspiration can sometimes cross into legal territory. Number 46. Belgium banned video game loot boxes in 2018 after determining they violated gambling laws. The government classified them as games of chance because players spend real money for the possibility of receiving in-game rewards. This regulation forced companies like EA and Blizzard to modify or remove loot box mechanics in their Belgian versions, sparking global debate on gaming and consumer protection. Number 47. The iconic line, "You're going to need a bigger boat" from Jaws was not in the original script. Actor Roy Scheider ad-libbed the line during filming, referencing a common joke on set. Crew members used the phrase to complain about the production's inadequate support boat. The spontaneous delivery became one of the most memorable lines in cinematic history. Number 48. Vaults are large, barrel-shaped structures found inside many animal cells, yet their function remains unclear. Discovered in the 1980s, these mysterious organelles are often ignored in textbooks due to limited understanding. Scientists believe they may play a role in transporting molecules or in cellular defense, but decades after their discovery, vaults remain one of biology's most puzzling cellular components. Number 49. Contrary to popular belief, Marvel and DC are not the top comic publishers in the United States by sales volume. Combined, they account for only about 7.6% of the market. The leading publishers are Viz Media, known for manga titles, and Scholastic, which produces best-selling children's graphic novels like Dog Man and The Babysitter's Club, dominating bookstore sales and libraries. Number 50. The world's first streaming service predates the internet by over a century. In 1881, the Theatrophone allowed subscribers in Paris to listen to live opera and theater performances over telephone lines. Listeners could rent a headset and connect to the performance remotely, making it a pioneering example of audio broadcasting technology and an early precursor to modern streaming services. Number 51. Early vacuum cleaners were massive contraptions powered by gasoline and pulled by horses through the streets. Invented by Hubert Cecil Booth in 1901, the machine remained outside while long hoses were fed through windows to clean interiors. These early devices didn't suck like modern vacuums. Instead, they blew air to dislodge dust, which was then collected in filters or bags. Number 52. While we commonly refer to things like carrots, broccoli, and spinach as vegetables, the term has no botanical basis. Scientists classify plants by structure, such as roots, stems, or leaves, not culinary use. Vegetable is a cultural term used for convenience, not science. So, while vegetables are real in your kitchen, they don't exist formally in scientific classification systems. Number 53. Contrary to popular belief, most drownings don't occur in oceans, but in inland waters like rivers, lakes, and even backyard pools. Statistics show that 90% of drowning deaths happen away from the sea. Freshwater environments can be deceptively dangerous due to hidden currents, unclear depths, and limited lifeguard presence, making them riskier than the open ocean in many cases. Number 54. Figs and wasps have a surprisingly close biological relationship. Certain species of fig trees rely on wasps to pollinate their flowers, and in doing so, the insects often lay their eggs inside the fig's structure. Enzymes in the fruit break down the dead wasp, leaving behind only trace DNA. So yes, you could be eating a bit of wasp with your fig. Number 55. Approximately 1 in 8 children report hearing voices at some point. This experience, while startling, is about as common as asthma or dyslexia. For most kids, it's a harmless byproduct of imagination or stress and fades over time. However, if the voices become persistent or distressing, professional assessment can help determine if further support or intervention is necessary. Number 56. The average human produces about 237 milliliters, roughly 1 cup of sweat per day during normal activity. However, this can increase significantly with heat, exercise, or stress. Most of this moisture is absorbed by clothing or bedding, which over time adds up. Studies suggest that mattresses may absorb up to 26 gallons of sweat annually, creating a hidden hygiene concern. Number 57. In Mumbai, India, Zoroastrians practice a 3,000-year-old burial tradition known as sky burial. The deceased are placed in towers of silence, circular stone platforms, where vultures consume the bodies, leaving only bones behind. This ritual honors the Zoroastrian belief that earth and fire are sacred and must not be polluted by death, making nature itself the agent of decomposition and purification. Number 58. The Aztecs believed that human sacrifice was essential to maintaining balance in nature. During times of drought, they offered children to Tlaloc, the rain god. The children's tears were thought to invoke rain. These rituals often occurred at sacred sites like the Templo Mayor in Tenochtitlan, and while horrifying by modern standards, they were spiritual acts of devotion and necessity. Number 59. Archaeologists in Somerset, UK, discovered human skulls fashioned into bowls and cups, dating back to the Mesolithic period. These skull cups were carefully cleaned, shaped, and smoothed, indicating deliberate craftsmanship. Their exact purpose remains uncertain, possibly used for rituals, as trophies, or in survival situations. The find raises intriguing questions about ancient attitudes toward death, reverence, and resourcefulness in harsh environments. Number 60. Humans are born with only two innate fears: loud noises and falling. These fears are present from infancy, likely as evolutionary survival mechanisms. All other fears, like fear of spiders, the dark, or public speaking, are learned through experience and social influence. While acquired fears can be powerful, understanding their origins can help in managing and overcoming them over time. Number 61. In 2023, a squirrel in Montana caused a major power outage affecting 15,000 people by interfering with a substation. This wasn't an isolated incident. Squirrels are responsible for numerous power disruptions each year. Their curiosity and climbing habits lead them into electrical equipment, often resulting in outages, damage, or even fires. Despite their size, these rodents can cause massive infrastructure problems. Number 62. Kangaroo words are clever linguistic constructions containing a synonym within them. For example, encourage has urge, inside, and masculine contains male. These inner words are called joey words, echoing how a baby kangaroo lives inside its parent's pouch. The term highlights playful wordplay and offers a fun way to explore the layered structure of English vocabulary and etymology. Number 63. In a 2018 study, scientists swallowed Lego bricks to determine how long it takes for them to pass through the human digestive system. The result? On average, just 1.7 days. Despite their hardness and shape, most plastic bricks pass without harm. While not recommended, the study helped reassure concerned parents whose children accidentally swallowed small toy pieces. Number 64. In 2017, the U.S. Navy began using Xbox controllers to operate photonic masts on submarines. These modern masts replaced periscopes and required a user-friendly interface. The Xbox controller proved cheaper, more ergonomic, and intuitive for younger sailors. This unique crossover between military hardware and gaming technology improved efficiency and even reduced training time for submarine operators. Number 65. Throughout your life, you shed between 49 and 105 pounds of dead skin cells. These microscopic flakes fall off continuously, forming part of the dust in your home. Shedding is a vital function, helping rid the body of toxins and pathogens while renewing the skin's outer layer. Though unnoticeable day to day, the cumulative effect is surprisingly significant. Number 66. According to research by microbiologist Dr. Charles Gerba, 20% of office mugs contain traces of fecal bacteria like E. coli. This is often due to communal sponges and improper mug washing. Many employees rinse mugs with water or wipe them with contaminated cloths, transforming break rooms into bacterial hotspots. A personal, regularly sanitized mug is the cleaner option. Number 67. The Vent Haven Museum in Kentucky houses over 900 vintage ventriloquist dummies, many of which were used in 20th century performances. A study found that 90% of these dolls carry bacteria, and 20% tested positive for E. coli. Years of handling without sterilization allowed germs to accumulate, turning these silent figures into unexpected microbiological specimens with a spooky twist. Number 68. Rome's Church of the Sacred Souls in Purgatory hosts chilling artifacts said to bear impressions from spirits trapped between life and death. Items include scorched prayer books and handprints on fabric, allegedly left by souls requesting prayers. Thermal imaging has detected heat signatures on some relics, 40% of which defy scientific explanation, sparking debates on the possibility of supernatural phenomena. Number 69. Cold cuts may be convenient, but for pregnant women or those with weakened immune systems, they pose a risk due to Listeria bacteria. Listeria can survive refrigeration and cause severe infections. Health experts recommend heating deli meats to 165 degrees Fahrenheit before eating. This simple step can prevent listeriosis, a dangerous illness responsible for over 250 deaths annually in the U.S. Number 70. Drive-thrus began in Arizona in 1975 as a response to military policies that banned soldiers from entering restaurants while in uniform. The first McDonald's to install a drive-thru window served these uniformed customers efficiently, allowing them to remain in their vehicles. The innovation quickly caught on, revolutionizing fast food service and becoming a staple of American dining culture. Number 71. In ancient European caves, prehistoric handprints often show missing fingers. While some believe these were the result of frostbite or injury, recent studies suggest that the amputations were intentional. Anthropologists have documented over 120 global cultures where people cut off fingers as part of mourning rituals or religious rites, indicating the cave prints may have had ceremonial or symbolic meaning. Number 72. Children's fingerprints fade more quickly than adults when left on surfaces. A study involving 97 participants found that by day 3, 20% of kids' prints were already blurry. By day 7, 76% had disappeared. The reason? Children produce more fatty acids in their skin, which break down prints faster. This discovery poses challenges for forensic investigations involving minors. Number 73. Archaeologists excavating Mount Lycaon in Greece discovered the skeleton of an adolescent male buried among animal remains and religious artifacts. This supports ancient writings suggesting human sacrifice occurred at this altar dedicated to Zeus. The bones date back 3,000 years and provide rare physical evidence of ritual killings in early Greek religious practices, previously thought to be only myth. Number 74. Oral contraceptives are used by over 150 million women worldwide, often for more than just birth control. However, emerging research links these pills to structural changes in the brain. A 2019 study found that women on hormonal birth control had a smaller hypothalamus, the brain region tied to emotion and behavior, raising questions about long-term mental health effects. Number 75. In Japan, the okozukai system refers to a monthly allowance that wives give their husbands for personal spending. While it might seem outdated, it reflects a collaborative approach to family budgeting. The wife typically manages the household finances and savings, while the husband uses his allowance for hobbies, lunches, or gifts, promoting financial trust and mutual accountability. Number 76. Roughly 2% of people carry a rare genetic mutation in the ABCC11 gene that leaves their armpits virtually odorless. This mutation reduces the production of the protein bacteria need to break down sweat into smelly compounds. These individuals also produce dry earwax, a linked trait. Though uncommon, this genetic twist offers a natural advantage in the battle against body odor. Number 77. In 2012, 22-year-old Lauren Kornacki lifted a 3,800-pound BMW off her unconscious father when a car jack failed. Despite her petite frame, she managed to roll the car off his body, then performed CPR until paramedics arrived. Doctors attributed her strength to an adrenaline surge, a rare phenomenon known as hysterical strength, which can occur during extreme emergencies. Number 78. Stephen Mabbitt suffered from a rare condition called superior canal dehiscence syndrome, which caused him to hear his own internal body sounds, including his eyes moving. This condition occurs when a tiny bone atop the inner ear is missing, leading to hyperacusis, or extreme sound sensitivity. Surgery eventually corrected the defect, restoring his hearing to normal and ending the tormenting noise. Number 79. Making your bed right after waking up may trap dust mites in the warm, moist environment they love. A study from Kingston University found that leaving your bed unmade allows moisture to evaporate, making it harder for mites to survive. While this doesn't replace washing sheets, it can reduce allergen buildup and improve the cleanliness of your sleeping space. Number 80. Crushed eggshells are being used in biomedical engineering to develop a material called hydrogel that supports bone regeneration. The calcium-rich shells are ground and combined with polymers to create a scaffold where bone cells can grow. This innovation could reduce the need for synthetic bone grafts and offer a sustainable, natural solution for healing fractures and repairing skeletal damage. Number 81. In 2018, Eugene Barb, heavily intoxicated, fell onto train tracks in Oregon and was struck by an oncoming train. Witnesses assumed the worst. Miraculously, Barb stood up moments later and walked away with only minor injuries. Authorities found him hours later. No charges were filed. His improbable survival was considered punishment and consequence enough for the dangerous encounter. Number 82. Research suggests that men under stress are more likely to find heavier women attractive. A study by Newcastle University revealed that stress alters ideal body preferences, possibly as an evolutionary response. In times of perceived scarcity or threat, traits associated with health and resource availability, like body fat, become more appealing, reflecting ancient survival instincts encoded in human psychology. Number 83. King Charles II of England reportedly consumed a concoction called the King's Drops, made from powdered human skulls and usnea, a moss that grows on buried remains. This grim elixir was believed to cure ailments like nosebleeds and epilepsy. His court valued it as a powerful medicine, showing how medical understanding in the 17th century often blurred with superstition and death. Number 84. Emperor Nero of Rome implemented a urine tax called the vectigal urinae. Urine, rich in ammonia, was a valuable resource used to clean wool and bleach garments. Collectors gathered it from public latrines and sold it to tanners and launderers. This unexpected levy turned bodily waste into taxable commerce, highlighting the Romans' practical approach to sanitation and economy. Number 85. Mount Everest is the final resting place for over 200 climbers. Most deaths occur in the death zone above 8,000 meters, where oxygen levels are perilously low. Bodies often remain where they fall. Retrieval is too risky. Some, like the famous green boots, become grim landmarks, frozen in time, serving as haunting reminders of Everest's unforgiving conditions. Number 86. The golden poison dart frog, native to Colombia's rainforests, secretes batrachotoxin, one of the most potent natural poisons. A single frog contains enough toxin to kill 10 humans or 20,000 mice. Indigenous people used their secretions to coat blow darts. The frog's bright color warns predators, showcasing an extraordinary evolutionary defense mechanism refined over millennia. Number 87. In 18th century England, carrying an umbrella as a man was considered unmanly. Jonas Hanway, a philanthropist and traveler, became the first Englishman to regularly use one, braving ridicule and mockery from society. At the time, umbrellas were associated with femininity. Hanway's persistence helped normalize their use among men, paving the way for umbrellas to become everyday accessories. Number 88. A cybersecurity report by Symantec revealed that religious websites are, on average, more likely to contain malware than adult sites. The reason? Religious sites are often less frequently updated or secured, making them easier targets for hackers. Visitors assume safety due to the site's moral nature, but this false sense of security can lead to malicious infections. Number 89. A study by the University of Edinburgh measured human tongue lengths and found that men's tongues average 3.3 inches, while women's measure around 3.1 inches. Though the difference is small, about half a centimeter, it highlights the diversity in human anatomy. Researchers note that tongue length has little medical relevance, but continues to be a curious subject of bodily comparison. Number 90. Victoria's Secret bombshell perfume was found to repel mosquitoes for up to 2 hours in a 2015 study. Researchers noted that certain floral and citrus scent compounds acted as effective deterrents, comparable to some commercial repellents. Though not a substitute for DEET-based products in high-risk areas, the study offered a fashionable and pleasantly scented alternative for casual outdoor use. Number 91. The tufts of hair inside your cat's ears are called ear furnishings. These hairs serve two important functions. They amplify sound by directing vibrations into the ear canal and act as a protective barrier against dust, debris, and insects. Their presence helps cats detect the faintest noises, like the sound of a treat bag, while keeping their sensitive ears clean and safe. Number 92. As we age, gravity gradually pulls on cartilage-rich parts of our body, making features like noses and ears appear longer. Unlike bones, cartilage continues to grow slowly and lacks the rigidity to resist gravitational pull. Over decades, this leads to noticeable elongation, particularly in older adults, giving rise to the observation that noses and ears never stop growing. Number 93. Bats give birth upside down while clinging to cave ceilings or branches. Though it sounds risky, newborn pups are born with strong instincts and muscles, allowing them to cling to their mother's fur immediately. Some species even have a pouch near the mother's belly where the pup stays warm and secure. This remarkable birth method exemplifies nature's adaptability. Number 94. Lobsters weren't always considered a delicacy. Until the 18th century, they were viewed as bottom-feeding pests and fed to prisoners, servants, or used as fertilizer. Their reputation began to shift when railways served them to travelers unfamiliar with coastal biases. Over time, clever marketing and improved preparation techniques transformed the crustacean into the luxurious seafood item we know today. Number 95. Cherophobia is the fear of happiness. People with this condition often avoid joyful moments due to a belief that happiness will be followed by something negative. It's linked to anxiety, guilt, or superstitions about tempting fate. Though not officially classified as a mental disorder, cherophobia can significantly affect one's quality of life and may benefit from therapeutic support. Number 96. Homework hasn't always been a school staple. In the early 20th century, critics like Thomas Edison argued it was detrimental to children's well-being. Today, studies support the idea that excessive homework can cause stress, sleep loss, and anxiety. While moderate homework can reinforce learning, overburdening students may harm their mental and physical health, prompting ongoing debates about educational balance. Number 97. Over a lifetime, the average person produces enough saliva to fill about 53 bathtubs. Saliva plays a crucial role in digestion, oral hygiene, and speech. It contains enzymes that begin breaking down food and helps neutralize acids to prevent tooth decay. While you may not notice it constantly, your salivary glands are hard at work every moment you're awake, and even asleep. Number 98. According to a 2013 study, men lose interest while shopping with their partners after just 26 minutes. The main culprits? Hunger and boredom. While women often enjoy browsing, many men experience a drop in patience and attention. This phenomenon has even influenced retail marketing strategies, with some stores offering seating or entertainment zones to accommodate less enthusiastic shoppers. Number 99. Dreams may feel surreal, but every face you see in them is real, at least one you've seen before. Neuroscientists say the human brain cannot invent entirely new faces in dreams. Instead, it pulls from a mental database of faces you've encountered in real life, even if only briefly. That stranger from your dream may have once passed you on the street. Number 100. The word y'all, often associated with the American South, surprisingly has British roots. The earliest recorded use dates back to 1631 in the poem The Fair Ethiopian by William Leal. Over time, the contraction of you all evolved into a regional hallmark of Southern American English, valued for its clarity, inclusiveness, and cultural charm in both speech and writing. Number 101. Nepal's national flag is the only non-rectangular national flag in the world. Composed of two stacked triangles, it symbolizes the Himalayan mountains and the country's two main religions, Hinduism and Buddhism. Adopted in 1962, its crimson color represents bravery, while the blue border signifies peace. The celestial symbols, a sun and crescent moon, reflect hopes that Nepal will last as long as both.